There is an age-old saying: the only constant thing in life is change, and there is no denying the truth of this saying. Ilang beses na siguro nating napatunayan na madalas ang mga napag-iiwanan sa buhay ay yung mga kumakapit sa nakaraan, sa nakasanayan, mula sa puso ni bato na hindi kailanman naging pusong bato.
Senate President Pro Tempore, Senator Lauren Legarda. Good morning, ma'am. And also with us is our chair of the Senate Committee on National Defense. Baka nakikita na papanood yun sa TV lagi. Ang ating popular Senator Bato, Ronald Bato de la Rosa. Morning, sir. Of course, we'd like to acknowledge our distinguished guests this morning from both the provincial and local governments, as well as from various government agencies. We have with us Baguio City Mayor and Chairman of the Metropolitan Baguio City La Trinidad Itogon, Sablan, Tuba, and Tublay Development Authority, Mayor Benjamin Magalong. Morning, sir. Thank you for joining us. Itogon Benguet Mayor Bernard Waclin. Morning, sir. Tuba Benguet Mayor Clarita Salongan. Morning po. Sablan Benguet Mayor Alfredo Dacumos Jr. Ilocos Sur Board Member and former Mayor of Candon, Erickson Sigson. Sir. NEDA CAR Regional Director Susan Sumbeling. DepEd CAR Regional Director Estela Carino. TESDA Benguet Acting Provincial Director Arlene Cadalig. Bases Conversion and Development Authority BCDA OIC Corporate Planning Department Crineza Vel Mendoza. From industry, we have Benguet Electric Cooperative or Beneco Chairperson Steve Kating. Morning po. Baguio Water District Chairman and University of Cordilleras College of Law Dean Attorney Renato Rondez. Morning, Dean. Also from the education sector, from Cordillera State Institute of Technical Education, Interim Executive Director Daisy Bugalion. Pangasinan State University Binmalay, Campus Executive Director Dr. Marie Claire Briones. Along with Pangasinan State University Bayambang Campus Director Gudelia Samson. And St. Louis University Office for Legal Affairs Director Attorney Johan Macob. University of Northern Philippines Director Carlo Ventura. Don Mariano Marcos Memorial State University La Union Legal Officer Attorney Alan Pahimola. Bangi Institute of Technology Administrator Carlos Carizal. TESDA Regional Training Center La Union Chief Specialist Artemio Pulido. And I'm also informed that we have with us John Hay Management Corporation President and CEO Alan Garcia. Yeah. Did I fail to acknowledge anybody present at the table today? Yes. Mr. Emerito Narag, OIC Assistant Director for Dole CAR. Anybody else? Yeah, thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. And again, also thank you to my colleagues. Perhaps before we get the ball rolling, we would like to ask our colleagues if they have any preliminary statements. Senators Legarda and De La Rosa. Yes. Senator Lauren. Yeah.
Naimbag na bigat. Good morning to all of you. Happy to be here in the North. And we're here to listen to your views, those who are elected in local governments, those representing the private sector, those representing the agencies of government in the region. We'd like to hear from you on the resolution of both houses number 6. We are certain that by now you've probably read it and you would have your ideas on the advertising, education, and public services sectors that will be affected. That is a subject of our consultation today. This is the first of a series of out-of-town hearings, aside from the hearings conducted by the chair, attended by all of us in the Senate. So we are happy to be back in the in the summer capital of the Philippines. We would like to know whether the proposed measure will actually alleviate the condition in our country. How will it affect livelihood and the local economy in the Cordillera region, and in Region 1 as well? We'd like to hear from you. Thank you very much and good morning.
Thank you very much, Senator Legarda. Now we ask Senator Bato if he wishes to make a statement.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Naimbag nga adlaw. Mr. Chair, colleagues present and our resource persons for today's hearing. Foremost, I would like to thank our subcommittee chairperson, Senator Sani Angara, for conducting this 6th public hearing in Baguio City. This is where I started my journey as a public servant when I entered the Philippine Military Academy. This city and its people will always have a special place in my heart, just like the good mayor of Baguio City, Mayor Benji Magalong. There is an age-old saying: the only constant thing in life is change, and there is no denying the truth of this saying. Ilang beses na siguro nating napatunayan na madalas ang mga napag-iiwanan sa buhay ay yung mga kumakapit sa nakaraan, sa nakasanayan. When the moment calls for us to decide, we must decide. And we can only pray that the decisions we make today are not the ones we regret in the future. Perhaps the good thing is that we are given the opportunity to choose our fate. In the context of this hearing, I say that coming together and deciding as a nation is in itself already a victory. Noon pa man po ay hindi ko isinara ang aking isip sa pagbabago, lalo na po kung ito ay nakabubuti sa ating bayan. Today, we as a people are standing in front of a crossroad. Are we for the charter change or not? And if we are, what provisions do we intend to amend? But most importantly, will it improve the lives of every Filipino? We want to know from the residents of Baguio City and nearby provinces present today the possible effects of the proposed amendments to the Constitution. Will these amendments create opportunities and improve the local economy? In the midst of all the controversies brought about by the manner as to how the Constitution is to be amended, we have somehow found a silver lining. Every elected official behind and against charter change claim that their motivation is to uplift the lives of Filipinos. As to each one's declared intention, it is nothing short of noble. As to authenticity, that is something for our people to discern and decide. I began by telling you that I hold this place very close to my heart, and I wish to end with an assurance that also comes from my heart, mula sa puso ni Bato, na hindi kailanman naging pusong bato. I assure you, whatever change we may all decide on, we will make sure that it is the people who will benefit the most. To the people of Baguio and the Cordilleras, whatever the outcome of this political exercise may be, I will see to it that the environment and the cultural identity of everyone is protected and at all times respected. Maraming salamat. Agyam Manak, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, Senator Bato. Tamang-tama nga, it's the PMA graduation and the President is darating po si Presidente bukas. So congratulations to the PMA graduates. Life-changing yan for these cadets, just like General. They can also be a General Bato, Senator Ping Lacson, Mayor Magalong. We'd like to acknowledge the presence of one of our colleagues and also the chairperson, one of the co-chairpersons of EDCOM. Magkasama po kami doon. Congressman Mark Go. Good morning, sir. Good morning po. So, yeah, this is our 6th public hearing, but the first out of town. And it's a focused discussion on 3 areas. Yung public services, although dito sa public services, wala kaming dinadagdag. Gusto lang namin na ma-institutionalize yung nailagay dun sa Public Service Act amendments na pinasa namin nung nakaraang administrasyon, kung saan binuksan natin yung mga telcos at ibang negosyo sa mga dayuhang magnenegosyo para to encourage competition in certain public utilities and also to encourage better services to our countrymen. Pero at the present, that is naka-TRO yun sa Supreme Court. So one way of breaking that impasse is to pass this that certain provision where kasi nga ang argument doon kaya na TRO is because it is against the Constitution. But if we place it in the Constitution na ito yung patakaran and ito yung pwedeng pumasok ang ating mga dayuhang negosyo, dun wala na pong usapang sa Supreme Court. That will be settled. At pangalawa yung higher education institutions at pangatlo yung advertising. So we're here to hear you. So without further ado, we'll turn it over to you. First, we'll go with Mayor Benji, then Kong Mark, and then the other mayors here in Benguet. So Mayor Benji, please, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you very much, Madam Mr. Chair. Imbagag sapa, kadatayo amin na po. On behalf of the City of Baguio and the Metro Police Development Authority, our warm welcome to Senator Sonny Angara, to Senator Loren Legarda, to Senator Bato de la Rosa, and hopefully we'll be joined by Senator no less than by the Senate President, Senator Juan Miguel Zumiri, and Senator Christopher Bongo. It is our honor that the Senate Committee has come to Baguio to hold this public hearing, attended by resource persons today. It need not to be stressed that this hearing is vital for the actions of our legislators in the coming times, because this opens the discussion of amending portions of the Philippine Constitution, the supreme law of the land, particularly those provisions which serve as the fundamental policy in the regulation of our economic activities. During my travels abroad, I had the opportunity to observe how other countries, especially progressive countries, have used special laws, economic laws and policies, and technological advancement, enhancing efficiency and productivity of industries. I always leave these trips with this thought that these practices can be implemented in the Philippines. I do not doubt that our local talents are capable of putting Philippine industries at par with peers in the global stage. But the potential is fully realized with increased capital investment, comprehensive collaborations, trainings for innovative or new methods, and of course, the strong support of the government and the appropriate laws for that matter. This is why I support legislation that advances economic opportunities for the Filipino. And with the current landscape, our industries would be able to support an economic track that is globally competitive, dynamic, and adaptive to economic trends. I would like also to decry some efforts of some legislators to pursue the people's initiative. I believe this is purely unethical. With that support, however, I also firmly believe that the process for moving these kinds of legislations forward should be aligned with what is provided in our Constitution, and that the core foundations of nationalism and national interest are still primarily protected, and if not strengthened. I have taken note that the Honorable Senate President has already categorically stated before the Senate will not succumb to the pressure of a deadline, and I completely agree with that principle. An amendment to the Constitution demands careful and an in-depth study, analysis of risk, and this public hearing establishes our legislators' earnest steps in that direction, because it is our hope in the Metro Police Development Authority that whatever result is had from these public hearings, it is always in pursuit of the best interests of our country and its people. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you very much, Mayor Magalong. Tama po yan. We're really trying to go in depth sa studies po namin. Congressman Mark, sir, you have the floor, sir.
Yes, thank you very much, Senator Sani. To our honorable senators, Senator Lauren, Senator Sani, and Senator Bato, esteemed resource persons present this morning, our honored guests, friends, ladies and gentlemen, isa pong mapagpalayang umaga sa ating lahat. I stand before you today humbled by the opportunity to address this crucial issue at the intersection of economic policy and national development. As a legislator, I am deeply invested in the future prosperity of our beloved nation. And I believe that these proposed amendments to the Philippine Constitution warrant careful consideration and thoughtful deliberation. Before I proceed further, I want to express my gratitude for the invitation to participate in this hearing and assure you of my commitment to contributing meaningfully in our discussions today. In addition to my remarks today, I will be submitting a comprehensive position paper outlining my perspectives on Senate Resolution of both Houses number 6. This document will provide detailed analysis, evidence-based arguments in support of the proposed amendments, drawing upon insights gleaned from consultations with stakeholders and experts in the field. Now let me turn our attention to the substance of the matter at hand. In a rapidly evolving global landscape, the Philippines finds itself at a pivotal crossroads, faced with the imperative to adapt and innovate to thrive in this 21st century. The proposed amendments to certain economic provisions of our Constitution, particularly on Articles 12, 14, and 16, represent a bold step toward unlocking the full economic potential of our nation. Let us first consider the issue of foreign ownership in public utilities. The proposed amendments to Section 11, Article 12, which seek to grant Congress the authority to permit foreign companies 100% ownership in public utilities, hold immense promise for fostering economic growth, enhancing infrastructure development, and promoting healthy competition in our country. While concerns have been raised regarding the potential impact on local businesses and employment opportunities, it is crucial to recognize the significant socioeconomic benefits associated with attracting foreign investment in public utilities. Data presented by government officials, including Undersecretary Sharon Garin of the Department of Energy, underscores the substantial capital inflows, job creation, and environmental benefits that foreign investments in renewable energy projects can bring by welcoming foreign investments while implementing appropriate safeguards. We have the opportunity to stimulate economic growth and create employment opportunities and contribute to sustainable development. Moving on to the issue of foreign ownership in education, it is evident that the landscape of global education is evolving rapidly, and our Constitution must adapt to accommodate these changes. The proposed amendments to Paragraph 2, Section 4 of Article 14 offer the potential to enhance educational quality, address accessibility gaps, and foster economic growth as well as innovation. By allowing foreign investment in education, we can pave the way for the establishment of world-class educational institutions within our country, enriching the educational experience for students and enhancing the global competitiveness. While concerns have been raised regarding the potential dilution of Filipino identity and values, it is essential to recognize that international collaborations can enrich rather than erode cultural diversity. By implementing robust regulatory frameworks and promoting cultural exchanges, we can ensure that foreign-based or foreign-owned institutions uphold Filipino values while embracing global perspectives. Finally, let us consider the issue of foreign ownership in the advertising industry. The proposed liberalization of ownership restrictions in this sector holds the promise of stimulating economic growth, fostering innovation, and positioning the Philippines as a hub of dynamic communication and commerce on the global stage. While concerns have been raised regarding potential job displacement and unfair competition, it is imperative to implement proper regulatory frameworks to ensure a level playing field and prevent anti-competitive behavior. In conclusion, Mr. Chair, I urge this esteemed subcommittee to carefully consider the implications of the proposed amendments to our Constitution by embracing foreign investment in key sectors while ensuring adequate safeguards and regulatory force oversight. We have the opportunity to unlock the full potential, particularly economic potential, of our nation and chart a course toward prosperity and progress for generations to come. Again, Mr. Chair and members of this committee, maraming salamat po at naway maging makabuluhan ang ating talakayan ngayong umaga.
Thank you very much, Congressman Mark. We'll value your input, especially with higher education being the chairperson of the House Committee on Higher and Technical Education. We'd like to acknowledge Mayor Romeo Salda of La Trinidad Benguet. Good morning po, sir. We'll call on you in a while. We'll go first to the mayors here. Mayor Bernard Waclin from Itogon. Sir, you have the floor.
Hello. To our beloved Senator, Senator Loren Ligarda, Senator Sani Angara, Senator Batu, and to all are here, a pleasant morning to one and all. This is my first time to attend a public hearing with the amendment of the Constitution, so I cannot say anything, just to wait for the presentation and learn how this Constitution be amended. That's all, and thank you.
Salamat po, Mayor. Now from Tuba, Mayor Clarita Salongan. Ma'am.
Good morning, everyone. Of course, our beloved senators headed by Senator Angara and Senator Loren Ligarda, Senator Batu, who are with us today. This is also my first time to have this public hearing, to attend this public hearing, and whatever will be the common codes of the Filipinos, we will be voting for that, sir. So as of now, as Mayor Maclean have mentioned, maybe we want to listen to the presentation before we will have the action also, as the officials or the Cordillerans. We are also we agree on the amendments, but as to the presentation, we would like to first hear the presentation. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Now we go to Sablan, Mayor Alfredo Dacubos, sir.
Good morning and a blessed day to each and everyone. With regards to our resolution proposing for amendments, well, it's a high time to hear for changes. However, as of this time, we are also preparing for some of this amendment, and we will be sending some notes if ever the presentation will be done. So good morning to all, and thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Just for the information of the body, there's no presentation because the bill is very simple. It opens up, yung sa public services, there's three areas, three focused provisions here. Or there's a focus on three provisions of the Constitution. As I said earlier, yung public services, although we're not adding or subtracting from what we did, what Congress did, both the House and the Senate, when we passed the amendments to the 1930s public service law. Yun, we just added, we specified there that certain industries can be open to foreigners, among them telecommunications and certain utilities. And the idea there is to have enhanced competition, given the state of our utilities, and hopefully to lower prices and provide better services to our countrymen. And pangalawa ho, yung higher education. We believe that in this day and age, with the free flow of information, And you look at Singapore, where there are joint degrees offered between National University of Singapore, Yale University, Harvard University, Northwestern University. So, kumbaga, ideas are global nowadays. So yun ang dinidiin po namin dito na siguro dapat makisabay din tayo because our citizens also may be clamoring for a very different type of education and new ideas, new partnerships. Even if we open it up, there are also laws which we can pass, meaning we can only allow certain people of certain training to teach in our higher education institutions. Kumbaga, this is not the only layer of regulation that the state or the government can have. Sabi nga nila, these types of regulations on economic policy should not be, hindi dapat nasa saligang batas yan. At sabi nung aming magagaling na abogado or resource persons, meron kami mga retired Supreme Court justices, retired professors of constitutional law. Ang sabi nila, yung Pilipinas lang ang merong economic policy regulations in its constitution. No one else in the world. Constitutions are meant to be very general documents which survive centuries and are organic and must evolve. Yung US Constitution is over 200 years old and it's been amended, I think, 26 or 27 times. So, I know some of us want to amend the whole Constitution, pero we already had a Constitution in 1935, in 1973, in 1987. Kung baguhin natin, magkakaroon tayo ng 2024 Constitution, parang there is no opportunity for the Constitution to settle and take root. And that is part of our nation-building exercise, Your Honors. So sa akin, mas maganda itong ginagawa ng Senado at Kamara na we are hearing particular. And there, of course, the people will have the last say kasi may plebiscito po ito. So yung higher education. At yung pangatlo, yung advertising, which is not as big a deal as, I suppose, as education because it's already open 70% to foreigners. So we're just opening up the remaining 30%. And during our hearing last week, parang the resource persons were okay with it. Parang wala masyadong opposition dun sa advertising industry. Kasi sabi nila, a lot of local advertising agencies have foreign partners anyway. And it's there are already arrangements or contracts wherein foreign advertising companies employ Filipinos. There are also Filipino advertising agencies which employ talent abroad also. So the cross-border usage of talent and nationalities is not really a controversial subject when it comes to advertising. So sorry that we don't have a presentation, but because the provisions are very simple and the ideas are very simple really. It's just really to open up these three areas. Kasi in the past, yung mga discussion, kalat-kalat ho eh. Merong parliamentary, merong amending the terms of office, merong... So we decided the most urgent problems of Filipinos pertain to yung economics situation nila eh. Yung trabaho, yung presyo. So part of the high cost of living is, of course, paying for the daily necessities. And factoring into that is utilities, food, and other things. I think these are the urgent problems of Filipinos, and they have been for the last decades. And it hasn't changed, Your Honor. So yun lang po. That's the idea here. And we're looking forward to hearing more from you. We now have with us, we'd like to acknowledge the Governor of Benguet Province, Governor Melchor Diclas, Doctor, Medical Doctor, MD. Would you like to comment, Governor? Are you ready to give a position on the dun sa binanggit po nating proposed amendments to the Constitution?
So thank you, Senator, to every senators who are present, and my co-deliverance. Good morning to each and everyone. For me, we've been reading the economic provisions, and we don't have any objections, so we approve with the economic provisions. Thank you. That's all.
Thank you, Governor.